For those that don't know it, my wife Kara is a master organizer. She has a place for everything and everything in its place. But there's one area of the house she still feels could use some improvement. We call it the breezeway, which is the little entryway between our garage and the house where all the coats and shoes come off before entering. Oh, and the hats. Yeah, that's where I keep most of my hats. Anyway, because of the pond, this area now gets way more traffic from visitors than what it ever had in the past. So she's been daydreaming of an organizational makeover. And fellas, when the wife comes up with a new project idea, it's your job as a husband to make it happen, even if you can't do it all yourself.
Dig Drive DIY!
We've been in the same house for nearly 25 years now, and all through the years, we've been doing little DIY improvements to make it a little better every year. Actually, in 2006, we did a huge remodel project, complete with a partial basement underneath the new addition, new plumbing, siding, electrical, roof, the works, you name it. And every couple of years since, we save up to do a new improvement project of some sort. Some years are much bigger than others. Like in 2008, we built a new garage. Then there was the concrete patio. And most recently, we did a kitchen remodel back in 2022. I made a video of that one where we salvaged some old kitchen cabinets from a newer house, repainted them, and then installed them in our kitchen. Kara was most excited about the brand new countertop. And almost every project on this house, aside from the framing and concrete work, we've been able to do it ourselves. Well, I should say, though, we wouldn't have been able to do any of it without the gracious help of family and friends. Thankfully, there's a member of the family in almost every trade needed to work on a house. But the point is, we've made an effort to make it all DIY. But times they are a-changin'. And as we get older, it feels like we've already had our fair share of favors. So when a project like this comes up nowadays, I feel like I might need to enlist the help of an expert. You see, as Kara was explaining this new daydream of hers, I began to realize that this was definitely going to be beyond my skill set. I've never been much of a woodworker, and I defer most of that kind of stuff to her dad, actually, but this was even more involved. She was envisioning a sizable project. Built-in cabinets, or maybe we should call them lockers, where we could store and organize the stuff, and most importantly, hide it away from all the passers-by through the breezeway. So with a clear picture of what she had in mind, I turned my efforts towards producing a rough sketch with some initial measurements, and then we could hopefully share that with a professional. And I had just the guy in mind. So Andy of Loudon's Custom Woodworking came out for a consultation, and he had a really good idea of what she had in mind. We followed up his visit to our place with a visit to his showroom where we picked out all of the specifics, and then essentially I just handed the project off to him. Okay, I stopped here at Andy's cabinet shop to check in on the progress. He's been working on our cabinets, getting them ready, and I just want to see how it's going. And just to give you a little backstory, Andy and I went to the same high school. We were a couple grades apart, but we knew each other in high school, grew up around Harlan. We've known each other for a long, long time. So I'm not just bugging some random dude that I just asked to build cabinets. This is a long time acquaintance, and we both play the drums, so we'll see how Andy's doing. How's it going?
Good.
Those are the faces of the cabinets, right?
Yep, faces. So we do two different grooves on the outside of it, and then it'll lock in with the side panel, which I'm getting ready to run after I run this guy.
So you just cut this groove in right there with that machine?
Yeah. Then we're going to cut the top groove in on here. The groove I just ran here is the reverse of what the groove I just ran there. So what that does, it comes down and we go to build it, and it'll log in.
So what's the before and after? Where are you cutting?
It's going to go down here on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
We're going to run a quarter by quarter groove right down there, so that'll lock the bottom.
I see that now. 1/4 inch.
Yep. That's the bench seat.
Oh, okay.
So,
the bench, yep.
Big drawer that pulls out of that.
So I'm looking at the back side of it.
Yep.
So these are all the faces to our cabinets then. There's basically 4 lockers, and those are the 4 faces. And then each one will get built independently. So you can bring 4 cabinets in a lot easier than some big behemoths. Yeah.
So I'm old school. Everybody does this on a CNC now.
Oh, really?
I don't want to do a CNC. I just do it old school.
We're just the last of the old schoolers, I think.
You got it. Everybody younger than us has already turned to the
We're maybe about the youngest of the Gen X, but we're holding on.
Slide in. Something like that.
Simple.
Yeah.
But you make it look so easy. That would take me all day to do what you just did.
We got the wood top made for this guy.
Oh yeah.
The bench seat. So the only thing I got to do on this, he's solid maple, and he's planked together. Is just throw a router. Truck to go by. Just throw a router on it, ease the edges on it before I sand it, and we got to figure out the stain color yet for it. But it will sit right on top of that guy.
So this will be my. As I get older, I'll use this more frequently. This is where we're going to sit and put our shoes on. That's the plan. Off on the edges, or what'd you say? What'd you call it?
It's ease the edges. Kind of breaks the edges. What I do with a laminate trimmer, which is a small router. So.
Okay. Do you have anything that you have to be like code mindful of?
The only two that I know of are walkways when we do kitchens.
Yeah.
Code, you got to have for wheelchair accessibility, you got to be at least 3 foot in a walkway, 36 inches. Only other code is on a wood hood that goes over the stove. We got to stay at least 30 inches off the top of the grate.
Oh, really?
To the bottom for fire hazard. So, because it's
Okay.
wood above, it's not steel or anything like
Yeah.
that. So.
Never would have thought of that. So Andy's got all the doors in here already. These are the front of the, we're calling them blockers, but you'll see what they look like once they're in the breezeway. But he paints everything hanging. So longtime viewers will remember that I made a video painting our kitchen cabinets, and we painted them all face down, made a little turnstile to paint them.
Yeah.
And Andy says this is just the preferred method because you don't get any dust on the faces by leaving them lay flat, but you got to know what you're doing so that you don't put runs in it.
Yeah, that's the,
Right?
that's
That's the challenge of hanging them.
yeah. And you can get them done twice as fast because you can do both sides. You can do everything at once.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Because when we did ours, we had to paint the back side, wait for those to dry, then flip them over and do the faces. So this will be cool. They look plain Jane until they get the color on them, and that's where Kara comes in. She picks all the colors. Looking good, dude.
All right, cool.
All right, that was fun checking in on Andy's progress on the cabinets. He's almost done. I think delivery of them is going to be tomorrow or the next day, and then installation by the end of the week. So I only got about 3 days before this is going to be in here, and there's a few things I need to do. So the new cabinets that he built are going to go up against this wall and come out nearly to the trim here. So I need to remove this board all the way along. I need to remove the baseboard along the bottom, and I need to do something about this switch. This is a 3-way switch that's controlled both there and here, but that's going to be in the way because the cabinet is coming right out to this trim board. So this light switch can no longer be here. What I'm going to try to do is move it over to this side. If I'm lucky, I think that the stud is on this side of this outlet, and we've fastened the one on this side to the cripple of the door jamb. And so I'm going to see if I can cut this out and transfer this light switch to this side, and we'll turn the breezeway light on in here. Okay, so that basically that other outlet is right behind the drywall there. So I'm not sure how it's going to work out just yet, but we'll get it figured out. We're going to need a double gang box and a double gang cover. So those are kind of the aspects of the project that I'm responsible for because, like I've said, I'm not a cabinet guy, nor am I a woodworker or have the right tools, but I can prep and get things ready. So there's still a DIY component of it. But now my next favorite thing is to run to the hardware store. All right, so we're stopping in here at Andy's, making sure the color looks right, which it does. We're confirming the stain for the top of the bench that's going to be in there. And he's got a few things he's got to paint, so that'll be interesting to check out. I'm going to watch him paint. He's got a nice paint booth. See how many tools you need to be a woodworker? So it's the trial run of the stain color called Mocha.
Yeah.
To see if you're going to like it, right?
Yep.
What are these gizwillies?
Well, this is a downdraft, so you stick it on it, it sucks the air when you sand it.
Oh, that's what's...
This one doesn't work anymore, so it just turned into a work table. That one's still good.
Yeah, I think that looks good, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's perfect.
Okay, well that's what we needed. So Andy's got a pretty cool paint booth set up here. He's got his mixing and his guns over here. He's got his updraft system here, and then he's got these hangers over here to hang stuff that's done. This is what you gotta have. If you're gonna be doing a lot of this stuff, this is what we didn't have. We made up a makeshift paint booth when we painted those kitchen cabinet doors, but this would have made life so much easier. That's it? Man, that quick. The finish looks great. I like that color. I've always liked those kind of colors. Well, hopefully I got everything. Usually I can never get everything in one trip to Menards. But I like going in the wintertime for some reason. You know, when it's cold out and there's nothing else to do, it's fun to roam around in there. So you're gonna assemble one of the lockers?
Mm-hmm. Yep, last one.
Okay, so this side goes up against another locker. And so this edge isn't finished. And the face sticks out just a fuzz more than the side so that the two faces will come together. The other side though has got a finished edge, so he's gonna do the other side a little bit differently. So you've already done it in about 10 minutes, what it taken me half a day. The clamps alone, I don't even have any clamps, see? Wow, that's a different kind of animal.
So I'm aiming to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So if you aim a little too far out, you're going to shoot to the side. If you aim too far forward, you'll shoot through the...
So you're angling it yourself though, or does it automatically angle it?
No, I just know kind of where the angle is.
And that way we don't have any exposed fasteners on the outside, because like I said, this is a finished edge here. Pretty exciting.
Is how you wanted to spend your...
It's exciting, yeah. I'm
Tuesday morning.
picturing where all the shelves are going, what's going on the shelves, yeah.
What are you talking about? This is a primo date day here for us, see? A day date. This is the gun he's using in the corners. This is the gun he's using on the other side. Staples. It is, eh? All right, so the next step will be putting the doors on it and then delivery and install, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, thank you.
7:30 a.m. I'm gonna see if I can get these boards off before I go to work so that Kara can work on it today. Get it patched up. We'll see. Kara and I did all this. We did the addition, did all the trim work ourselves. Kara painted it, so it's especially painful to rip it out. I had all the measurements on every piece. You can see my handwriting on here. Drywall right down the floor there. So the cabinets are going to stop just short of the window trim. Cabinets will come up to probably that pencil mark that Andy left. So we got to doctor this portion up and this side of the window casing. And then the same thing around all the edges. 10 till 8, so I'm gonna head to work, and if you wanna.
Yep, I'll work on that.
This box is nailed to the stud on this side, so it has nails going through the plastic on the top and bottom. I'm gonna try to cut the nails off and relieve this box from the stud so that we have enough room to get a box in behind it, because right now this box can't be here if I'm gonna put one in from the other side. As you can see, the switch on the opposite side, the box is right there, and it almost comes to this side of the drywall. So you really simply can't just put a second box on here because they'd be too wide. You can't get a double cover on both. So I was going to try to take this box out and replace it with a duplex box. Got this box that goes in. This is for old work, so you can just cut a hole in the drywall, and then these tabs flip up and pinch it between the drywall and the face. So I got to cut a hole out now big enough for this to fit in there. The dog, if you hear that bell ringing, that's the dog feeling like that she's being neglected. So
Every time we get into
as the busier we get, the more she rings that bell. On cue. There's the wires from the other side. So I'm going to tighten these two screws right here. As you tighten that, it'll activate that little flapper in the back and tighten it up against the back side of the drywall. That one and that one. You see that little flapper moving? Should be pulling it up tight. There, it pulled it up tight against the drywall. So for newer viewers who may not realize it, or maybe those that forgot, my dad, a retired electrician, and my brother's an electrician, which has helped to give me the confidence to do this kind of stuff, because I've watched them do enough things, kind of taught me along the way. So not too bad, is it?
Right.
Didn't have to patch anything up.
No, I'm proud of you. Good work.
Now we just got to see if it works. Don't be proud of me yet. Okay, now we got to try to remember to turn the light onto the breezeway in this hallway, which we've never done before. But it's actually not bad. I mean, that won't be bad. You got to patch that hole in the drywall, and I might try to add an outlet. So anyway, I saw this trick on the internet. I've never done it. You take a piece of drywall that's oversized from what you want your patch to be, and I've cut out the size of my patch, the hole left behind by the electrical box, and then I've broken away and peeled it off the paper, the excess drywall that I don't want. So I'm left with like a patch and a piece of paper. And the idea is you can put this patch in the hole and then put mud around the paper. All right, that concludes this lunch break remodel job. Got the switches moved. I'm gonna go back to work. And then the next thing is she's gonna get this finished up and painted, and then they'll be bringing the cabinets today or tomorrow. There it is. Only time it'll see the sunlight, probably, or last time, I mean. So, you think that's all good? Cabinets are all good.
Yeah.
Your part is done.
My part is done.
Well, thank you. We'll see how it turns out.
Professional just pulled in, I think.
So the installer is up next. He's pulling in, and I'm probably just going to stay out of his way. He would probably appreciate that, wouldn't he?
What's up, Steve?
This is my wife, Kara. This is Steve.
Hi there.
All right, well, the cabinets are here, and I wasn't quite done with what I wanted to do on this outlet. I really like to move this outlet right here up to 30 inches so that it'll be in the back of the cabinet and not down behind the shoes. So I'm going to try to do that while Steve is here working. Hopefully I can stay out of his way. All right, I'm going to try to pull this wire up, and you got to kind of try to feed it up through the back of that box. Ready?
Yep.
What do you think, Penny? I asked Penny what she thought of the cabinets. What do you think? Well, that is a wrap on day one. Steve's going to be back tomorrow to finish up the install. We're really excited to see what this bench right here is going to look like with a maple top on it. He's got to put the door handles on and the trim around the top. So yeah, there's plenty to do, but we're getting close. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Back for day 2 of the installation. Steve's been hard at it for a couple hours already. I've been gone this morning, so I'm anxious to check in to see what it looks like. Had to make a provision for the for this vent to fit underneath the trim, so we'll see if it works, right?
Are you questioning me?
No, not at all. There's where that vent's got to go. How am I going to make this work? I need to modify this vent. All right, I'm going to go cut it outside because I don't want to throw a bunch of sparks in here because the shop is ironically a bit unorganized. Try this first. Steve is still busy finalizing the trim. I just happened to walk by and see that somebody thinks they might try to hitch a ride out of here. Hey, what are you doing? All right, let's see. Now we got to see what Kara thinks. You want to check it out?
That makes a big difference.
Yeah. You haven't got to see it all day, have you?
No, it's been like torture. Worse than Christmas. It's awesome.
What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Can't wait to organize.
Can't wait to get in there. Yeah.
Okay, can you try out the bench? You're the first one. Does that work?
It's perfect, yeah.
Gonna be able to put your shoes on?
Yeah. That's the perfect height. Love it.
Okay, let's do some final touches and then we'll show you the end result. Well, thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
appreciate it, Steve.
Yeah, it's good working for you.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank
so
you.
we'll get her buttoned up and she can get her shelves in there how she wants
Yeah.
them, and a lot of situating to do. She's been waiting all day just to do
Consider
that.
it done, right?
All right. All right. Good luck with your next job. Yep, we'll see ya.
Oh my gosh!
What do you think?
It looks so good. Were those things up there before? No, I was gonna say. It looks green now. I know it really changes colors. It was blue before. I agree. I love the pillow. Well, you're okay.
So is that your locker?
Yeah.
That's your locker?
This is my locker. The pillow's so cute.
So here's mine. Little charging station. Well, there you have it. I think the new lockers are going to work out great. Almost everything that we had in here before that was laying on the floor or hanging from the wall is now inside the lockers. And most importantly, is this one happy?
Very happy.
Very happy. All right. See, husbands, you got to make it happen. So I think it looks great. Thanks to Andy Loudon at Loudon's Custom Woodworking for getting these built for us, and Steve for installing them. We really appreciate it. I want to thank you for clicking on this video. I hope that you liked it. And if we're lucky, we'll see you in the next one. All right. Thanks for watching. I gotta grab my coat and hat and we're gonna take off. First test. Oh, this is gonna be nice. That is nice. Ready for a night out on the town. Thanks for watching.